Up to 99% of the Great Barrier Reef is at risk of being destroyed unless immediate action is taken to combat and reverse global warming, a new study finds. Researchers said temperatures of Australia's coastal waters have broken record every year for the past 10 years and only seem to be increasing. In 2020, the Great Barrier Reef experienced the hottest February since records began. This is having profound long-term consequences for ecosystem, according to the Australian Academy of Science report. The risk to Australia of a 3 degrees centigrade warmer world. As it stands, scientists predict the world will be warmed by 3 degrees Celsius by 2100. If this happens, oceans are projected to absorb 5 times more heat compared to the observed amount accumulated since 1970, which will lead to increased marine heat waves. These heat waves have catastrophic effects on the Great Barrier Reef, but as the report finds, time to save the reef is already running low. Ove Hugelberg, a professor at the University of Queensland, said current international commitments to the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions under the Paris Agreement do not go far enough to combat global warming and will have serious consequences for Australia and the world. Australia must revisit its emission reduction commitments and work with other countries to provide the leadership and collaboration required to place Australia and the world on a safer climate trajectory, he said. Experts are now urging the government to rapidly remove greenhouse gas emissions from a range of sectors, as even a warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius will cause 70 to 90% of world's tropical coral reefs to disappear. At a warming of 2 degrees Celsius, 99% of the reef would be lost. The outlook for the state of the Great Barrier Reef is considered very poor, with climate change seen as the major driver, primarily through more frequent and intense heat waves and cyclones, researchers said. Substantial losses in ocean productivity, ongoing ocean acidification, and the increasing deterioration of coastal systems such as mangroves and seagrasses are projected to occur if global warming exceeds 2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial period, they added. A consequence of this warming is rising sea levels, which will further amplify storm impacts, damaging coastal ecosystems like mangroves, seagrass beds, and estuaries. The unprecedented bushfire season in 2019 to 2020 and the mass dying of corals on the Great Barrier Reef demonstrate how rapidly and fundamentally our global environment is changing, with only 1.1 degrees Celsius of global warming. Leslie Hughes, a pro-vice chancellor of research at Macquarie University, said.